Previously on The Bachelorette. Desdemona gave Othello the last rose over Rodrigo.
Othello, I really like your stories. You seem to be a great person around, and I think I'm falling in love with you. Rodrigo, he's kind of seemed lately not alive, kind of distant, speechless all the time. It's been a really tough decision, but I choose Othello.
They chose to elope in a romantic chapel in Beverly Hills, California.
Othello, do you take Desdemona's hand in holy matrimony?
I do.
Desdemona, do you take Othello's hand in holy matrimony?
I do.
You may now kiss the bride.
However, Desdemona's father Brabantio learns about the clandestine marriage and immediately assumes drugs were involved. In today's episode, Desdemona's father Brabantio furiously calls the show's host, Richard Duke, and Othello to his house to complain about the elopement.
This black man here who this show endorses has corrupted my daughter.
But contrary to Brabantio's belief,
My stories were the only drugs I gave her.
however, Othello receives an unexpected announcement.
I've just been told that you're being deployed to Iraq. They need your leadership to be successful.
It's all coming up right now on The Bachelorette.
Los Angeles traffic is such a drag.
Alright, let's see what Brabantio wants.
The production's very expensive, costs over $1 million. And what's it do? No budget.
This black man here who this show endorses has corrupted my daughter.
What do you have to say for yourself, Othello?
See, he has nothing to say because he knows I'm right.
Mr. Richard Duke.
Please, just call me Duke for short.
Okay, Duke. It is true that I married Desdemona, but that is all I have done. By the way, I apologize for my poor speech. I spend most of my time in the Marines, so it probably wouldn't do me much good to defend myself by talking, but I'll try my best. I'm going to tell you the story of how I charmed Desdemona.
My daughter was an extremely shy and quiet girl. Why would she ever fall in love with some monkey like Othello? Like I had mentioned last week, he must have gotten her some drugs or something.
Come on, Othello, cough it up. Did you drug her or was it consensual?
Please, Mr. Producer, how about we wait for Desdemona to come from the Hilton and then she can tell us her side of the story. If she blames me, you can sue me.
Okay, we'll wait for her to come.
While we wait, I'll tell you our love story.
Fine, tell us.
While we were filming The Bachelorette, I would tell all the other contestants about all my adventures in Afghanistan. I'd talk about undercover missions, torture of prisoners, life on the base. Desdemona would always walk around and eavesdrop on me, telling my stories. No matter how many dates she had, she'd always come rushing back to hear another story. One time we were on a patrol in Kabul, and we were just walking through the street, and this Al-Qaeda guy just starts shooting at us. He shoots down like 5 civilians trying to get at us. And he was chasing us across rooftops, everything. But it was all good, because the next day we caught him and we waterboarded the crap out of him. During our one-on-ones, Desdemona would always ask about the parts of the story she'd missed, tearing up with every word. So interested, so in love. She'd constantly drop hints about how she wished she had a man as adventurous as I am. She told me that if I could teach another contestant to tell my stories, she would instantly fall in love with him. I took the hint and I told her about my eternal love for her. After all, she loved my stories, and I loved how she listened to them.
Yeah.
The next day, Rodrigo was sent home, and I won. My stories were the only drugs I gave her. Oh look, Desdemona just came. She'll confirm my story.
Sorry to keep you waiting, boys. I needed to get a skinny, non-fat iced caramel macchiato, and the line at Starbucks was out the door. And the traffic on Wilshire Boulevard was crazy.
Your stories would make my daughter swoon too. Try to make the best of this situation, would you?
Just let her speak already. If she admits that she actually wants Othello, then let her be. So, Desdemona, my dear, who do you obey most here?
Daddy, I know you raised me and you gave me education, but I have to pick my own true love, Othello. My mom was obedient to you, and I must be obedient to my husband.
I give up. I'd rather adopt a child than have one like you. Come here, boy. I wanted to keep you two apart, but since you two are absolutely married, I might as well bless all your souls. For your sake, Desdemona, you should be happy you're an only child, because if you weren't, I'd lock all the doors for my other children in their rooms for the rest of their lives so they wouldn't follow your disgusting example.
Brabantio needs to listen to my advice. Stop worrying about the past if it won't change anything. I mean, it'll only lead to more sadness. You only live once. Listen, Brabantio, you have to ease up a bit. A robbery victim who can smile about his losses is superior to the thief that robbed him.
So you're saying that if someone steals your show idea from you, it's perfectly okay to smile? Well, words are as useless as helping you get over something as traumatic as this. Let's just move on.
Othello! Othello, I've just been told that you're being deployed to Iraq. They need your leadership to be successful. We'll have to postpone your honeymoon. I'm very sorry.
It's okay. I'm used to war. But I want to make sure that someone takes care of my Desdemona while I'm away.
She can stay with her father.
No, she is not staying with me.
I agree. Under no circumstances will she stay with it there.
I would not like to stay there either. I can make my own decisions.
So what do you want, Desdemona?
I want to stay with the man I love, Othello. For God's sakes, we just got married. I fell in love with his stories of war. I want to see what he does best.
Let her have her way. I don't want to be with her to make love. I only want to be with my wife. If her presence interferes with my decision-making as the army leader, let the whole army attack me.
Okay, Othello, you choose whether or not she's going to stay with you.
This text says you have to leave tonight. You have to speed things up.
That's okay. I'm happy to go.
Othello, an army messenger will be there at 9 a.m. You need to find the person to bring you your luggage and all of your prized possessions.
Got it. For Desdemona, I will choose my oldest partner, Iago. He's an honest man, so I trust him with my wife and whatever else I will need.
I'll text the messenger and let him know. Good night, y'all. And Brabantio, if it helps, your new son-in-law is more white than he is black.
Goodbye, brave soldier. Take care of your new girl.
Look at her, boy, if your people can see. She's lied to me, and she will probably deceive you too.
I swear on my life, she will always be truthful to me.
Will Desdemona cheat on Othello? Watch The Bachelorette next week to find out what happens when Othello goes out to war.
Do you take Othello's hand in holy matrimony?
I do.
You may now kiss the bride.
Blooper.
Daddy Ronan.
Papa Roman.
So interested. So in love.